It's certainly a pleasure to be with you this morning, and we're getting straight into our first set of guests for this morning, and they are from the Equal Opportunities Commission, and we're going to talk about some of the things that are available and some of the ways that us in Tobago can get connected with them and have some of their services. So, first of all, on my right, I am being joined by Mr. Haran Ramkaransingh, and he is the Director of Legal Services with the Equal Opportunity Commission. So, good morning and welcome to you.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
And we also have Mr. John Arnold, who is, of course, no stranger to us, but in this capacity, he is wearing the hat as a commissioner on the Equal Opportunities Commission board. And then virtually, good morning, Mr. Arnold. And then virtually, we are being joined by a former senator, former independent senator, Mr. H.R. Ian Roach, and he is the chairman of the Equal Opportunity Commission. Good morning to you, Mr. Roach. How are you doing?
Good morning to you as well. I'm fine, thank you, and good morning to Tobago.
Great. So first of all, let's get started with the Equal Opportunity Commission. Let's just say that people are not aware, what is the Equal Opportunity Commission?
Yes, good morning. The Equal Opportunity Commission is a public body. We are created by an act of parliament, the Equal Opportunity Act. The act was passed to prohibit certain kinds of discrimination and to create a mechanism by which persons who have been subjected to that discrimination can get redress. So the Commission's primary purpose is to receive complaints from these persons. We can investigate the complaints and we can conciliate the complaints. That is, we bring the parties to the table to have a conversation to see whether or not it can be resolved. Now, the Act created a second institution, which is the Equal Opportunity Tribunal, and they are a court. They're separate to the Commission, and they are chaired by a judge appointed by the Chief Justice, the Judicial and Legal Services Commission. And if your complaint cannot be resolved, then you can take your complaint there for hearing and determination by a judge. But apart from receiving complaints, because we always like to say it's a bit reactionary and that a person has to lodge a complaint. You know, people tend to ask, have you seen so-and-so taking place? What are you doing about it? But no, a person has to lodge a complaint. But that's that area. But the Commission also has broad and proactive duties, such as public education, public engagement, advocacy, making people more aware of who we are, what we do, engaging in public conversations, such as what we're doing right now. So that, in a nutshell, is the Commission.
Certainly. And then when we talk about discrimination, it is not just about race or anything like that. I mean, that is part of it, but it goes wider and deeper. So, Mr. Arnold, can you just give us an idea of how wide and deep it goes?
Yeah, well, we cover 4 basic grounds: provision of goods and services, the area of accommodation, employment, education, and so on. And then there are several grounds on that. Apart from those grounds, you have statuses, sex, race, ethnicity, religion, marital status, and so on. So really and truly, as long as those categories, as long as people have a claim to say that they were discriminated, they can come to the Commission. They can lodge a complaint. It's a free service, and they can come to us at any point. They can talk to us online too, right? So it's not only by mail, or they can come into the office in Trinidad. And of course, we will discuss how Tobago will accommodate office time or office hours for that. But that, in a nutshell, is we don't take anything outside of those parameters, because as Haran says, those are the areas we cover.
Certainly. And Mr. Roach, what happens when a complaint is lodged? What is the process like, and what can people expect to encounter when they are going through this process?
Well, when you lodge a complaint, either in person or online, as we have both be facilitated in either of those ways, what happens, an investigating officer is assigned to it. Then the investigating officer will have a discussion with the legal unit to examine the merits of it, and then they will be assigned, and they will go on to their investigations. Based on their investigations, the report is then developed. This will be discussed with the legal unit, which then there will be certain exchange of correspondence between the complainant and the person being complained. The complaint is being made against. to sort of bring them in to facilitate. Once there is a merit, there is substance in the complaint that has been lodged. Once the parties adhere to it, they will come in and in what you call conciliation proceedings, where they will discuss in an open way. Not a court, it's not it's not something that sense that it's not adversarial. And once that they exchange what is being guided by the conciliator, there's a solution. If there's a solution, then that's the end of the matter in terms that it will be can be drafted up and registered with the Equal British Tribunal to be registered as a court order to have the same power of enforcement as though it came from the High Court. Because as you know, the Equal British Tribunal is the superior court of record. However, if it is not resolved and the complainant is interested in taking it further, it can be then lodged with the Equal British Tribunal, and then it becomes more of litigation, so to speak. You may have lawyers becoming involved at that point in time, and the matter is then determined by the tribunal. And who can, if found in favor of the complainant, what can happen is that orders can be made to redress the wrong that has been committed to damages, as the case may be. Right? That in a nutshell is how complaints are handled at the Equal Opportunity Commission.
And what can you guys tell me as well as to, even how some cases have been handled over the years, and what was the outcome of, and I know you can't necessarily go into specific details, but just give us a general idea of the outcome of some of the cases that you've handled.
Haran is good at that.
Well, at conciliation, it's really what the parties are willing to agree to, because you're sitting around a table and it's a voluntary process. For example, we handled a case on behalf of a lady who was terminated from her job when her employers found out that she was HIV positive. Now, that matter went to conciliation, and they were able to agree between themselves that they will offer her a financial settlement. But she also asked whether you will give me a reference job letter. And she felt that was something that was important to her, because she could take that to another employer. And so that was something they were able to agree with. Now, just to stick a pin, if you were to go to court, while the court may have a wider range of powers and might be able to do many things, it's not something that a court will do. A court won't really order an employer to give you a reference letter. The court's approach is more, I will order financial compensation, and the parties go their separate ways. So this was just something that you could discuss in conciliation and say that, we can agree, to perhaps a smaller financial sum, but I will also, could I get a reference letter from you?
And is there any restrictions on people that can approach the Equal Opportunity Commission for assistance?
No, as long as you have been affected by the act that you're complaining about. So, because, for example, we had someone come to complain to us that, their niece, this happened to their niece or someone in their community. Now, you can assist that person in the same way a trade union or a lawyer can assist that person, but you can't lodge a complaint on behalf of your niece. You can fill out the paperwork. There's nothing wrong with that. Because to lodge a complaint, you can just simply go onto our website, and you can. So for all intents and purposes, you can lodge a complaint on their behalf, but it has to be their complaint. It's not your complaint on behalf of the person. But you also have to do so within 6 months of the alleged act. So if you're talking about something, because sometimes we get complaints and, they're talking about, well, 3 years ago this happened. We always have to point out to them, unfortunately, no. The Act says you must do so, the Equal Opportunity Act says you must do so within 6 months.
Okay. And then, what are also some of the other things that the Equal Opportunity Commission does? Because I also, saw there are things in terms of education, helping people to understand the laws. Because if we can't understand the laws, then we can't follow them.
That's big. The education is a big part. Also, Haran spoke to it, where we also meet and collaborate with other stakeholders for certain interests in terms of accommodating them in terms of discussion, whether it be on disabilities, whether it be on LGBTQ, whatever. But we accommodate those kinds of conversations as the Equal Opportunities Commission. But the education is really, really key. The chairman, of course, is very, very strong in that. because he has a real strong thing about things like disabilities.
Yes.
And he's really, as a matter of fact, he will probably explain one of his own personal
Yeah,
experiences.
I was just about to say, I think
Yeah.
he has some personal experience where that is concerned, Mr. Roach.
Yeah. What I would like, thanks for that. What I would like to just emphasize what John and Haran has just said is that of the functions of the seven functions of the commission, which is provided by Section 27 of the Act, five of them deals with education and other things, right? And I will just read them out for you to see how important it is because luxury complaint is just one of seven. So most of the functions of the commission is dealing with preventative measures, right? So if you look at section 27.1, it says to work towards the elimination of discrimination, to promote equality of opportunity and good relations between persons of different status generally, to keep under review the working of this act and any relevant law, and when so required by the minister or otherwise think it necessary, draw up and submit to the minister proposals for amending them, to develop, conduct, and foster research and educational programs and other programs for the purpose of eliminating discrimination and promoting equality of opportunity and good relations between persons of different status, and to prepare and to publish appropriate guidelines for the avoidance of discrimination. So, what basically you see, there's a strong focus of the act, apart from dealing with issues when an issue may arise. Most of the functions of the Equal Opportunity Commission, which sometimes tend to be lost by explaining on any program or any national education, is that you just focus on the remedy aspect of it, but there's the preventative action, which is always 100% for sure. Remedies are never 100%, but prevention is always 100%. So having said that, I will come to the situation again. Why I'm here virtually and Haran and John are in studio with you is because, again, lack of proper consideration and facilities to facilitate persons who are differently able. I'm wheelchair bound and I'm not able to get to appropriate hotel of all the hotels in Tobago where I can come and feel at home and properly be catered for, to have proper use without injuring myself there. So therefore, I was unable to make that journey as much as I would have loved to be there in person because it is not only our opportunity to do a strategic planning in Tobago, but also as to do as we are doing now to reach out to the society, to the community, and basically touch base in person. The entire board and senior members of staff are there to do that. So that is a big peeve on my part that we need to educate because if we only deal with just litigating, I will be in court and other similarly circumstances may very well be in court on a regular basis. And that really would look, how would that look, right? We need to do what is right, what is reasonably expected in order to bring all persons in your national sphere into the productive aspect of society to be able to enjoy all that is possible as a reasonable human being operating in a society that is civil, that has adequate respect for human rights across the board.
Certainly. And there's no reason why someone like you, Mr. Roach, should be denied spend some time in Tobago just because you are wheelchair bound.
I'm telling you, it is really it is shameful. I think it's absurd to say the least, right? I have not been able to come to Tobago, which I used to do before I was paralyzed. To have a swim, I will come to court and after my quarter here, and I certainly will go to Stokeby and have a swim before going back to Trinidad. If I want to take a swim now, I have to jump on a plane and go as far as Curacao or Cayman Islands to get a swim. You understand? Because they provide for me. And as I said before, Tobago is a tourist destination, and we should be alive to this issue. Is it something that needs to be dealt with ASAP? Okay, and then you will have millionaires too, and many others as often as possible.
And perhaps this might be the catalyst. So then it now leads me to question, what about the office for Tobago?
So I think I like how you do that because I will segue. I will segue and come to it. We are here doing a strategic planning retreat. So we met all day yesterday. And basically, the three pillars that we're looking at for the next 3 years. One would be obviously this big mandate of eliminating discrimination and promoting equality in every sphere and so on. The second one is really increasing the efficiency and effectiveness of the commission, how we operate, how all of the staff in making sure we have everybody. And the third one is an ambitious idea where it's nothing new about advancing the commission to a national human rights institution, right? And that way we feel we'll be able to cover many other areas and make the commission's functions broader. Now, coming to the Tobago, one of the things we're discussing is by increasing the education, we would increase the awareness, and more people will access or make or take the opportunity to access the services. Prior to COVID, we used to come once a month, right? During COVID, of course, since then, we have not done that. But we are proposing, it came up in the strategic plan, of looking at getting an office one, or if not an office, over time, as we see more people accessing the services, about doing the temporary thing of at least once a fortnight or once a month. So that's definitely on our radar.
Great. And we're certainly looking forward for that. And unfortunately, we're now out of time.
Oh my gosh.
We're out
All
of time
right.
this morning, but I want to thank you all for being on with us. And I just want to give, I could give each one of you a minute to wrap up. Hopefully my directors are not, don't cut us off.
Although we don't have a physical office in Tobago, we are very accessible because, as I said, you can lodge a complaint online. You don't have to, you can go onto our website and you could either download the form and print it and email it, or you could actually fill it out online and you just press click and send it. And you can even upload your documents to the website, or you can email your documents. And then we also use a lot of technology. We conduct our meetings via Zoom and Microsoft Teams, so that although we're physically not here, we are very accessible.
Yeah.
All right, and underneath we have Mr. John Arnold based
No, the
here.
chair, let the chair close.
Yeah, well, thank you very much. All I will say is that the Equal Opportunity Act is a good act. It comes because there's a need for it. But most importantly, laws can do so much. What is more important is that the human beings, we must change our hearts and minds, and then we'll have a more just society where equity and equality is available for all persons.
Certainly a wonderful way to end our conversation this morning. So thank you all for being
Thanks
on
a
with
lot.
us. And viewers, get connected, get online, and see how you can, if you have a complaint or you want to have more information, you can just search it all online and get it from there, and they will handle it. All right, so thank you so much. And we have a lot more coming up for you on the program, so please don't go anywhere. We'll be back after this break.
I say, thanks a favor to wake up and hear me neighbor. 60,000 people strong.